Have you ever walked into a room full of a bunch of people that you don't know and thought, wow, that person doesn't look very trustworthy to me? Or even whispered to a friend, that person looks a little bit like a criminal, don't they? I'm sure this situation sounds familiar to everyone. Hi, I'm Josephine, and my research topic is based on social attributions made from faces. First of all, I'd like to provide you with a brief history of my field, cognitive psychology. Cognition refers to all the mental activities that are involved in learning, remembering, and using knowledge. Cognitive psychology ultimately refers to the branch of psychology that is devoted to the scientific study of the mind. Overall, cognitive psychology involves the study of normal cognition, neuroimaging studies that reveal brain activity, and computational models that can be tested and compared with experimental data. There was not a specific time when cognitive psychology began. However, the year 1956 has been viewed as a crucial milestone in the development of cognitive psychology. This is because at the meeting of MIT, Noam Chomsky presented a number of arguments based on his theory of language. A number of other important topics were also discussed at this meeting, including the magic number 7's role in short-term memory, and Newell and Simon presenting their model, the general problem solver. There are a number of journals within cognitive sciences that publish work exploring issues in cognitive psychology, including the journal Trends in Cognitive Sciences. This began in 1997 and provides an overview of current thinking within the field of cognitive sciences, such as trends in psychology, neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and linguistics. Cognitive Psychology is another popular journal publishing work from cognitive psychology. This journal began in 1970 and is concerned with advances in the study of memory, language, processing, perception, and attention. The Journal of Experimental Psychology is yet another journal which was developed in 1975. This journal concentrates on publishing articles that are based on issues such as learning, memory, cognition, and perception. Finally, Multivariate Behavioral Research is another common journal in the field of cognitive psychology. This journal began in 1996 and publishes a variety of methodological and theoretical articles in areas within social and behavioral sciences. Topics of interest include personality, health, and intelligence. Along with a number of these reputable journals, there are also many professional organisations that support previous and upcoming research and researchers in cognitive psychology. The Cognitive Development Society, which was established in 1999, provides a voice for scholars, practitioners, and other individuals who are interested in the change and continuing of cognitive psychology. The Cognitive Neuroscience Society, which was established in 1995, is another popular organisation. The Cognitive Neuroscience Society is committed to the development of mind and brain research that is aimed at the investigation of psychological, computational, and neuroscientific basis of cognition. Another organisation is the Australian Psychological Society. APS is a popular organisation for psychologists in Australia with over 21,000 members. This organisation prepares formal inquiries and discussion papers, as well as reviews and reports from various external agencies. APS represents cognitive psychology, cognitive neuroscience, and many other strands of psychology, such as clinical, community, and educational and counselling. All of these organisations work both independently and collaboratively to support people who have previously and are currently contributing towards research within cognitive psychology. Within the broad field of cognitive psychology, a number of aspects surrounding human face recognition and processing have been heavily explored. The human face conveys a range of information about identity, emotional state, gender, age, and many ancient cultures believe there is a direct correspondence between facial appearance and personality. A Swiss pastor by the name of Johann Caspar Lavater is given the credit for spreading these ideas of a direct link between facial appearance and personality, better known as physiognomy. This refers to the art of reading personality within faces. After Lavater, there was Cesar Lombroso. Lombroso wrote about how criminals were able to be identified by their external physical features and characteristics. Then finally, in the upcoming of physiognomy, came Francis Galston, who developed a morphing technique to be able to identify human types, ranging from the ideal Englishman to the criminal. Many methods have been used throughout history to research social attributions made from faces. The most common methods used are standard hypothesis-driven approaches and data-driven approaches. A hypothesis-driven approach refers to researchers capitalizing on natural variations of facial appearances by having natural faces pre-rated on a number of dimensions and then selecting high and low-rated faces to use in further studies. However, the challenge with using an hypothesis-driven approach is that there may be a lot of important information that this method is not able to capture. The space of possible hypotheses is extremely large, and the interplay of only 20 binary features can result in over 1 million combinations. However, the alternative approach to researching social attributions made from faces is the data-driven approach, which aims to measure social perception of faces in an unbiased manner. This approach is a computational approach which aims to identify all of the information in the face that is used to make social attributions. This allows for capturing the variance in facial structure. This method allows for almost complete control over the facial stimuli, and the methods can be applied to as many faces as required for the experiment, as well as manipulated to the degree desired. This method has been shown to achieve rather reliable results. However, a disadvantage of this method would be that it is dependent on the stimuli used to build the model. So, for example, if the features that are important for social attributions do not vary in the original judged faces, then this method will not be able to identify the importance of these features. The face is seen to be an important source of information regarding an individual's age, gender, ethnicity, and emotional state, and all of this information combined seems to work in interplay to form judgments about behaviour, intelligence, and internal personality traits. A wide range of evidence has suggested that attributions made from facial features can have a great impact on many social outcomes, including within the criminal justice system, political voting, and rankings within the military. The consequences social attributions made from faces has on the criminal system is quite substantial. So Rowitz and McDonald's 1901 and Berry and MacArthur 1998 showed how people who have been identified as having a baby face are more likely to receive significantly less punishments for their crime. Facial appearances have also been shown to predict criminal guilt. This is because most people are more inclined to choose the most stereotypical looking criminal within a lineup. The consequences that social attributions made from faces has on politics has also been carefully researched. In Todorov and colleagues' 2005 study, it was discovered that the judgment of competence within political candidates' faces predicted the outcome of the election. These results suggest that personal attributions that are important for decisions are inferred from facial appearance and then used to make specific decisions. Other factors that have been heavily explored in regards to this topic include how we are more likely to view typical faces, faces that resemble our significant others, and our own face more positively within a lineup of facial stimuli. However, Todorov and colleagues 2015 found a significant positive effect on ratings of attractiveness and typicality with just a few minutes of adaptation to atypical faces with eyes extremely close together or extremely far apart. In summary, social attributions made from faces have been shown to be constructed by cues with adaptive significance, like masculinity, femininity, and resemblance to certain emotional expressions, as well as the physical structure of the face, also adding additional social attributions. When a face can be identified and characterized within a certain social group or stereotype, the face is then judged in relation to our beliefs about that group. So clearly there has been a lot of research surrounding attributions made from faces, including studies surrounding the many consequences involved from these face-based attributions, such as issues with political voting, criminal sentencing, financial decisions, and military rankings. However, despite all of these findings, attributions made from faces are often still very inaccurate and unreliable. Face-based attributions lead individuals to neglect more informative and important cues of information. Yet, we still continue to make automatic judgments despite the lack of accuracy surrounding those judgments. Therefore, it may seem clear that behaviour is not always the result of careful reflection, but is often driven by more automatic, effective responses. For example, an immediate emotional response or gut reaction to the face, which then leads us to neglect other information. Therefore, it would seem rather important to explore our automatic, effective responses to these faces, and if these effective responses are what drives us to categorise faces somewhat instantaneously. Researching automatic affective responses to faces would involve using a data-driven method to produce neutral face stimuli, then participants rating the faces on certain attributes such as trustworthiness, dominance, passiveness, and attractiveness on a scale from 1 to 10. The participants' emotional responses such as sweating, facial expressions, and heart rate would all be measured at the same time as them rating the facial stimuli. This is in order to record the affective responses that the facial stimuli has on the participants. Therefore, it may be shown that certain affective responses can predict specific social attributions. For example, an automatic affective response of a slight frown might be predicted for faces who are rated lower on trustworthiness, as well as a possible increased heart rate for faces that are rated higher on attractiveness. This research should also be done cross-culturally. This is in order to explore differences and similarities of automatic affective responses from faces, as well as attributions made from these faces. Is there any difference across Western, Asian, and Islamic cultures? My research project, although not fully established yet, will look into the above-mentioned issues regarding facial attributions made from faces and the automatic affective responses all across Western, Asian, and Islamic cultures.